Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Club are now holding fresh talks about signing fantastic £30 million Arsenal star. Juventus have now held fresh talks over a potential move for Thomas Partey, with the Arsenal midfielder seen as an alternative to Franck Kessie. That's according to a report from Gianluca Di Marzio, which notes that the old lady could make a move for the Ghanaian if another player leaves Turin this summer. It has appeared more recently that Thomas Partey is growing increasingly likely to stay at Arsenal. There had been speculation that the 30-year-old may leave as Mikel Arteta continues to overhaul some of his ranks. The Sun reported that Arsenal would consider bids of £30 million for Partey. Partey has impressed in pre-season, arguably outshining Declan Rice in their clash with Monaco on Wednesday. Nevertheless, it would appear that he could yet get the chance to move on before the deadline passes. According to Di Marzio, Juventus have held fresh discussions regarding a possible move for Partey. It comes with Franck Kessie seemingly now destined to move to Saudi Arabia from Barcelona, but the report notes that Juve will also have to move a player on before they can bring Partey in. Much may depend on where Partey wants to be playing next season. You get the impression that Arteta would be happy for him to stay as Arsenal prepare for their Champions League return in the coming campaign, but Arsenal have spent a huge sum this summer, and if they have further targets, they may perhaps want to consider any significant bids which arrive in the coming weeks. Losing Partey would be a setback. At his best, he is a fantastic player, but if he wants to go and Juve make a tempting offer, the Gunners may feel that they have food for thought. 23-year-old now one step away from leaving Arsenal on loan. Albert Sambi Lokonga is now just a step away from sealing a move from Arsenal to Burnley. That's according to a report from Tuttomercatoweb, which suggests that the Belgian is expected to move to Turf Moor on loan with an option to buy. It's little surprise to see Albert Sambi Lokonga leave Arsenal in the summer transfer window. Unfortunately, his move to the Emirates has not really worked out. He spent the second half of last season on loan with the Crystal Palace, but the appointment of Roy Hodgson saw the midfielder drop down the pecking order towards the end of the campaign. It seems that he is set to link up with a familiar face next season. Tuttomercatoweb reports that he is one step away from signing for Burnley for the upcoming season. A move to the Clarets will see Lokonga reunite with Vincent Kompany after the pair worked together at Anderlecht. Kompany has previously labelled the 23-year-old a special talent. It's a move that makes a lot of sense from Arsenal's perspective. Kompany knows exactly what Lokonga will be capable of, and it says a lot that he is set to use one of his loan spot to bring the Arsenal man in. He is likely to get the chance to play regularly for Burnley, and he has the potential to be a standout performer following the club's promotion to the top flight. What Kompany is doing with Burnley is very exciting, and Lokonga is clearly ready to sign up for that. The option is probably a sign that his time at Arsenal is over, but Lokonga rediscovering his form may help the Gunners secure a decent fee next year. Arsenal thinking of terminating £140,000 a week player's contract. Arsenal winger Nicolas Pepe has returned from his loan this summer, but it looks like he could be leaving on a permanent basis imminently. Now, attention looks like it's turning more to sales, with Fabrizio Romano reporting that Pepe would be happy to move to Turkish club Besiktas. According to Foot Mercato, Arsenal and Pepe are so desperate to part ways that they are negotiating the termination of his contract. Apparently, Arsenal are most keen to terminate his contract and will offer him compensation. The ball is now in the winger's court, with Besiktas interested, but they want him on a free transfer. If he is keen on the move, then he needs to accept terminating his contract. Pepe is reportedly on £140,000 a week. Meanwhile, Arsenal are having a big transfer window and have brought 3 top players into the squad already during the summer. With this in mind, you can see why they want to offload the winger. they could recoup some cash for him and offload him sooner rather than later. Of course, they will not receive a transfer fee for him, but right now it seems like the best and the only option this summer. He signed for a reported £72 million, and it shows how much the Gunners are willing to let him go, as they will be losing all that money they spent on him. It looks like it would definitely be best for all parties if Pepe were to have his contract terminated. He only has a year left on his deal, so would likely leave on a free transfer next summer. Meanwhile, Arsenal will save some money and the winger will be able to rejuvenate his career and get back to his best with consistent football. Pundit says Declan Rice doesn't look fully fit at the moment. Arsenal have had something of a mixed preseason campaign. The results have been a mixed bag, and the performances have also blown hot and cold. Of course, all eyes have been on the Gunners' new signings, and in all honesty, they have not been brilliant so far. Jurriën Timber has impressed, Kai Havertz has looked decent at times, but Declan Rice is yet to really show why he is a £105 million player. Of course, it's just pre-season, so we are not going to go crazy with the criticism at this point, but it has to be said that Rice hasn't quite slotted in as many hoped he would just yet. According to Adrian Clark, Rice doesn't actually look as though he is fully fit at the moment. Speaking on the Handbrake Off podcast, the pundit was speaking about Rice, and he says that he doesn't think the 24-year-old looks he is fully fit at this moment in time. Clark gave his verdict on Rice. He said, Rice and Partey, seeing them together in the same team was quite exciting. I think that once they get fully fit, it's clear that Declan Rice, in particular, isn't fully fit. He has not had a lot of action. They are going to be dynamite. You really can't blame Rice for not looking as fit as some of his peers. After all, he has barely had a break this summer. West Ham's season ran longer than many other clubs due to their Conference League run, while Rice was also involved in the international games straight after the season too. After that, he was busy finalizing his move to Arsenal, and he is just not had a break. Rice will get back up to speed soon enough, but we really can't blame him for being a bit slower than the rest of the team at the moment. Zenchenko says 26-year-old Arsenal star has shocked him more than anyone else. Arsenal star Alexander Zinchenko has claimed that Gabriel Jesus shocked him more than anyone else when he saw him training for the first time. The two Gunners stars have known each other for a long time now, having spent multiple successful years together at Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. Speaking to Rio Ferdinand on his YouTube channel about the time he first saw Jesus, Zenchenko raved about him. Zenchenko has played with plenty of world-class players over the years, hasn't he? The Ukrainian won 4 Premier League titles at Manchester City, and almost every player he shared the dressing room with at the Etihad was elite. However, when Ferdinand asked him to name the one that surprised him more than anyone else, Zenchenko quickly said Gabriel Jesus. He claims there is not a single striker in the whole world who is as good as the Arsenal number 9 when it comes to pressing high up the pitch. Responding to Ferdinand's question about the player who surprised him the most, Zenchenko said, I would say, because I didn't follow and still I don't much follow the Brazilian league, but when I saw Gabriel Jesus, I will be honest with you, not because he is my close friend and I am playing with him, but at City or even here at Arsenal, of course at City, I don't remember even one session where he was not the best. Absolutely unbelievable. I would like to ask you, name me one player who does high pressing better than him. Striker. Name me one striker in the world who does better. Gabriel Jesus' work ethic is second to none. The Brazilian joined Arsenal last year and completely changed the club's fortunes. He, along with Zinchenko, made everyone believe they can be champions, and they got really close last season. Jesus and Zinchenko will once again be key for Arsenal in the upcoming campaign, but unfortunately for Mikel Arteta, they are both currently injured. Rio Ferdinand shares what Arsenal's Arteta privately told him about Gabriel Martinelli. Rio Ferdinand has raved about Arsenal star Gabriel Martinelli and revealed what Mikel Arteta privately told him about the Brazilian a few years ago. The Gunners have come a long way since Arteta took charge of the club back in 2019. Not many players who were at his disposal back then are still at the club now, but the few who remain have improved massively. Martinelli is one such a player, and Ferdinand claimed in a video on the SDS YouTube channel that the Arsenal youngster could become world class soon. When Arsenal signed Gabriel Martinelli from Etoile back in 2019, nobody had really heard of him. The forward played in the fourth tier of Brazilian football back then, and not many believed he had what it takes to tear up the Premier League from the get-go. Martinelli, however, surprised everyone and hit the ground running. He was brilliant in his debut season at Arsenal, and he has developed into one of the best players in the Premier League now. While forming an Arsenal and Manchester United combined 11, Ferdinand decided to go for Marcus Rashford on the left wing, but that didn't stop him from raving about Martinelli. He said, I love Martinelli. I think could end up world class. I think he is a huge talent. I spoke to Arteta when he first got in a team and they played Bournemouth away. I said to him after the game, what's this kid like? He said, Rio, he is special. Martinelli is a tremendous footballer, isn't he? The Brazilian is still just 22, had an outstanding season last time out. It was his first campaign as a regular starter, and he finished with 15 goals and 5 assists in the Premier League. That is an exceptional return for someone so young, and the fact that he is still only 22 means he will only get better in the years to come. Martinelli looked extremely sharp against Monaco on Wednesday. We expect him to start again when the Gunners take on Manchester City in the Community Shield this weekend. Arsenal keeping tabs on a 22-year-old Frenchman this summer. Arsenal are hoping to bring in another midfielder before the summer transfer window closes, and they are keeping tabs on Kefren Thuram. A report from The Independent claims that Arsenal have had a look at the talented young Frenchman, and it remains to be seen whether they follow up with a concrete proposal to sign in. The 22-year-old has been a key player for Nice this past season, and he contributed to 2 goals and 8 assists across all competitions. Thuram has all the attributes to develop into a complete central midfielder, and he could be a superb long-term investment for the Cards. Arsenal have already signed Declan Rice from West Ham United, and they are hoping to bring in another quality midfield signing. Thuram has been linked with a move to the Premier League for weeks now, and it remains to be seen whether the Gunners can get a deal done. Arsenal have been very active in the transfer market, and they certainly have the financial means to sign the player. Sources close to the deal think world-class player is likely to join Arsenal now. Arsenal have been heavily linked with a move to sign David Raya this month, and the Gunners' chances of signing him reportedly look good. Mikel Arteta's side have had an excellent transfer window so far. They have signed Kai Havertz, Jurriën Timber and Declan Rice, who are all incredible additions to their side. Now, Arsenal's focus is reportedly on Brentford star Raya, and the Telegraph has shared the latest. Nobody really expected Arsenal to make a move for a new goalkeeper in this window, but David Raya has been heavily linked over the last few weeks. The Gunners already have Aaron Ramsdale and Matt Turner. The Englishman is a fantastic goalkeeper, while the latter is more than a decent backup. That, many felt, is enough options for Arsenal heading into the new season, but Arteta seems to disagree with that assessment and is really keen to bring in an upgrade on Turner. That man could be David Raya, and the report says Arsenal are in a great position. Bayern München are reportedly still pushing to sign the Brentford goalkeeper and are trying to convince him to move to the Bundesliga, but the Spaniard's preference is to stay in England. Sources close to the deal have reportedly told the outlet that Raya is much more likely to join Arsenal now. Fabrizio Romano revealed last night on X or Twitter that Arsenal have tabled their opening offer for Raya. The Gunners reportedly lodged a £23 million bid to sign him, £20 million, of which is the guaranteed sum Brentford will receive if they choose to accept that bid. The Bees haven't responded at the time of recording this video, but it's likely that the bid will be turned down. Thomas Frank has publicly slapped a £40 million price tag on his goalkeeper. Edo's bid is not even close to that figure. It will be interesting to see how this pans out in the coming days, but Arsenal definitely seems serious in their pursuit of the world-class Spanish goalkeeper. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.